Morning guys, welcome to another episode of Fishtopia Vlog. For this episode, we're going to talk about how to breed a flowerhorn fish. So this is a part 1 of a part 4 series because the flowerhorn breeding process is actually quite lengthy, or it can take quite some time, probably from 3 to 5 days, the entire process from breeding to the hatching of eggs. So I will be covering that up, all that up, but for this video I'm just going to show you the initial setup, or the initial process of the breeding, the flowerhorn breeding process. So okay, so let's start. So as you can see guys, there's a male flowerhorn here and a female flowerhorn on the other side. So as you can see, this is just one tank. This is a 36 by 18 tank. This is going to be ideal for the breeding tank. And as you notice, there's actually a barrier between the tank. So the barrier is since flowerhorn is very well known for their aggressive behavior because they are territorial. So before putting your female flowerhorn, you need to make sure that there's a barrier first, because the male can there's a tendency that the male will automatically attack anything that comes in the aquarium. So it may injure the female flowerhorn. So to avoid that, of course, we need to put in, that's why there's a barrier here. So at this phase of the breeding process, actually this is just the introduction of the two fish. They will start to what we can say, know each other. They can see each other. No, at the first stage they will be aggressive. There will be aggression. As you can see, they come near to each other and you can observe that their movements are very active, no? So this is the part where you don't really want to mix them immediately. Okay, so another part of the process that you need to make sure that, for me, I use filtration in the first stage of the breeding process. Why? Because of course they will still produce waste, and we don't want to affect the water quality, so that can actually affect the entire process of the breeding process. So I still turn on my filtration. As you can see here, I still turn it on in the first stages, but in the next stage I will turn it off once I see that the fish, the female flowerhorn, is ready to breed. So one item I also use, or to make sure that the breeding process goes well, is the aquarium heater. So aquarium heater is normally used to make sure that the temperature of the water is consistent. Okay, it's not used to just warm up the water because of the name, hence the name heater, but more of to just to ensure that the water, the temperature of the water is consistent, that it doesn't really drop, because the setup of my breeding tank is semi outdoor. It means it's outside, so during nighttime and morning, the water temperature can drop, and then during the noon to afternoon, the water temperature can rise up. So in order for us to make sure that this breeding process can be successful, we need to apply heater in our aquarium. So another vital component that needs in this setup is the aeration. So the aeration, because this can be comforting for the fish, especially the female flowerhorn, and this can also be used later when we are going to hatch the eggs. The aeration can have a good effect on the breeding process. Okay, and lastly, of course, one of the most important item in the setup is this. This is a flower pot holder. Okay, this is a flower pot holder specially made for of course flower pot, but in actuality, I'm very fortunate. By the way, shout out to Boss Michael Almeda. He's the vice president of the Flowerhorn Club in San Francisco, and is also a very good aquarium builder. You know, most if not all of my aquarium here, he owns, or I actually asked him to make all of the aquarium that you can see here. Right, so boss, thank you for this pot. He actually lended me this or gave me this pot just for the purpose of this breeding. So this pot is actually very ideal because it's shallow. As you can see, it's shallow and it's rough. So when breeding a flowerhorn, you need a rough surface area for the eggs to really set in, or the stick in the surface area. Some uses actually before I use tiles, but for the most part, actually for a lot of breeders that I know, they use pots like this. So you really can't find these pots anymore. It can only be pre-ordered. I think it was from Panabo, so Panabo City, so it's really hard to find. So I'm lucky to have this pot right now. So we're going to place this pot inside the where the female flowerhorn is, because it's going to the tendency what the female flowerhorn is going to do is to clean this up, you know, try to find a space for her to lay her eggs. So by the way, I before putting it in, I actually poured a boiling water first at the surface of this pot to ensure that there's no fungal or bacterial buildup, and that can affect the eggs of our flowerhorn fish. So we're going to place it here. Okay, just near the division, so that the female can actually or the male can actually see also the pot. So by the time we remove the barrier, they're going to be ready for the breeding process. That's it, and we're done with the video. So again, this is just going to be the part 1 of a part 4 series of the video. So just watch out for the next part of the video, which I'm going to cover probably tomorrow. So again, for those of you who haven't subscribed yet to our channel, you can just click the subscribe button below and also like our video for more updates. So that's it, and good morning and happy fish keeping.